and I'll stick around for a little bit and answer those questions. So today we're here with Thrive Business Skills for Success. It's an exciting program. Today we're talking about how to win with digital marketing. So I am Vincent LeBoy, co-founder and marketing strategist for 402 Content Marketing. We are most known for Columbus Champions, and that is our what we call a mini pub that focuses on good people doing good things in the community. But we are also a hyper-local content marketing network, and that means something. People say, "Oh, that's a great elevator pitch." Well, it's more than an elevator pitch. It's part of our marketing strategy. Today, speaking of today, you want to know how to succeed with digital marketing, and there are 5 topics that we're going to cover. So if you're taking notes, I would just write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I promise you we'll cover all 5 of them. Number 1, digital versus traditional marketing. We're going to talk about why, what it is, why does it matter, and if so, why. We're going to talk about the benefits of digital, because digital marketing does have some very strategic benefits. That's why people are running to digital marketing. We're going to talk about, I should wait just a second so you guys can write, how to have platform success. Which platform should you be on? Why should you be on that platform? How do you know? That's the question everybody always asks me. We're going to talk about why you need to have strategy and tactics, what they are, and why you need to have both of them in your planning. And then the final thing I promise you within this hour is we will have a 4-step strategic marketing plan for you. Now, we will not create one for your business individually. We don't have that kind of time, but I will show you the concept behind it and why that's important for you. So we are going to start with a case study. So a case study is something that just marketers love to do. We dig into someone's strategy. We look to see if it was successful. We look what components they used. And business owners don't do this a lot, but marketers love to do this. It's our business. This is the business we're in. And so that's why we do it. And today we're going to talk about true classic tees. So before I go any further, who knows what true classic tees is? T-shirt company. T-shirt company, yep.
Are they the ones about the label?
No, but that's another one.
They're slim fit, right? For men.
They do make fat men look slimmer. Let me show you 2 videos, okay? Okay, from that first video, what do you pick up from true classic tees? What? They fit better. They also work for skinny guys too. They tie it around your arms so you look like you have some big arms. Men like them.
That's Justin Trudeau up there. He's very cute.
Well, let's click to the next one so we keep everybody focused here. So here's the second one. I want you to watch this because we're going to talk about their marketing strategy, and how that pertains to you will be shown pretty quickly here. But I want you to see this one. It really leans into, the first one leans into the strategy, so does this one, but in a different way. All right, enough of those silly guys. What do we pick up from True Classic there?
That other people like it.
Other people like it. Okay, what do you mean other people?
Well, you've got all those. Well, you've got the bosses already saying you're a better employee because you're wearing it. Then you've got all of these people saying it's 5-star.
Yep, 5-star reviews. Good. What else did you pick up? I pointed with my pointer on this screen. Anybody see what I pointed to? It's the same guy playing both roles? No. I called it here True Classic Tees. But
more than just tea.
did you see that title on that one was True Classic?
Yeah.
They dropped the T's strategically. And we'll talk about that more. But once they get you with their T-shirts, then they can upsell you many more products, or continue to sell you, not even upsell, continue to sell you many more products. So it's important that we talk about this. We're going to use them as an example later on. So let's keep moving here. Their marketing strategy, just to wrap that up here, is this. They use humor. Obviously, they use humor. They also use it in a shareable medium. In a shareable medium that resonates with different categories. Now, I didn't show you all their videos, but they have videos that are targeted to the women of the men. And so that's a different category. But it resonates with that audience. But it's still in the same humorous category like this. It is definitely a relatable brand that they are creating here. Their social media strategy includes using local content creators. It also includes using social media influencers, and it includes using their customers. And so that first video was actually customer submitted videos that they just curated into a video. So I think that is awesome there. Now, I will tell you, True Classic also uses paid advertising. A lot of people want that free advertising. They want that organic advertising. You can get that too, but they use paid advertising. And they go across a bunch of platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I will tell you, if you Google True Classic Tees and watch a video, they spend a lot of money on retargeting, so you will see True Classic commercials all the time. They think they can't understand why I haven't bought, because I've used their commercials. I think they're a great example, so I use them all the time as an example. And so they're like, why won't this guy buy? Now, you too can succeed just like they have, and we're going to talk about their success a little bit later on. But before we do that, here's the number one thing. I said write those 5 things down. Here's the number one thing. It is, what is digital marketing and what is traditional marketing? What is the same and what is different? So if anybody feels bold in this room, I will take 2 volunteers to read. Do I have any bold volunteers? Uh-oh, maybe I'll read. Come on, this is a marketing group. People should. There you go. You get the first one then. Digital marketing.
Is the practice of promoting a brand or product using online channels like social media, email, search engines, websites to continue with potential customers and drive businesses through digital communication methods.
Yes, to drive business through digital communication methods. All right, very good. Thank you very much for volunteering. I have a shorter one. Do I have you don't have to write all that down. I don't think you're going to get all that here. Who's going to be my volunteer for the short one? Tanya's got it? All right, here we go.
Traditional marketing is the practice of promoting a brand or product using offline media, such as print, television, radio, billboards, and direct mail to connect with potential customers and drive business.
So, here's point number 1. All that gobbledygook, you can Google and find out what that definition is. Don't write that down, but write this down. What's the difference between traditional media and digital media? Yeah, that's really the difference. It's online channels and offline media. And remember, it wasn't called offline media, it was just called media. It only became offline media when we had online channels. It's the number one thing you have to understand, because the principles of marketing that worked for print, television, radio, billboards, direct mail, those principles, the basic principles of marketing your business, still work with digital. You have to have those principles. It's the tactics that's different, and we'll get to that. So there's number 1. Now, I told you digital marketing has some benefits, and I think that was number 2. It is number 2. And so you'll want to know these benefits, because this is why people are racing to digital right now. 1, greater reach at a lower cost. Now, don't get me wrong. I worked at the newspaper, and we distributed the paper to a local area. And only a certain percentage of the people subscribed to that paper. So you can only reach a certain percentage in a certain geographic area. But if I was to put it out on Facebook, I could actually say I want to reach from Omaha to Lincoln to Grand Island, and you can buy that reach. So you have an incredible amount of reach that you can buy with digital media, all different types of digital media. But you also have better audience targeting with digital media. What do I mean by that? Well, if you buy an ad in a publication, let's say a magazine, you're going to get a certain audience. But if I say, hey, I want this audience today, men over 40 that want to wear t-shirts, and tomorrow I want women who like men over 40 who wear nice t-shirts, and the next day I want kids who want to buy their dad a gift for Father's Day, you can actually target like that with digital media, which you cannot do with a billboard. Okay? Data-driven decision making. This is a game changer for media. If you want to succeed, you have to understand that there is data provided for you. I know so many people that when we manage their social media, They are on social media and we ask about their data and their results. They have no idea. They have no idea, but it's there for you. You just have to know how to use it. But when you're the owner of a business and you're doing this and that and this and this and that, your marketing is the last thing you can spend time on. So we help them understand how to make data-driven decisions. The information's already there for them. There's flexibility and adaptability with digital marketing. Oh my goodness, this is such a huge thing. Let's say you buy a billboard and you realize that's the wrong message, or I sold out of that product, or it was me and my partner, and we were up there with our business and our partner left. What do you got to do? You got to call the company. You got to say, we got to change that image immediately. And how many times have you driven down the road and seen a billboard that's faded and you see the offer on it? It's like, hey, concert coming in 2022. And you're like, wait a minute, that billboard's outdated. Well, with digital marketing, you have the ability to change almost on the fly. And with digital testing and A/B testing, you can actually run ads, test them, and then find the best one and then put your money in that one. You can't do that with traditional media. It's just impossible. And then digital marketing has customer engagement. That's that interaction, that going back and forth, that they ask a question, you can respond to them. And I mean, you just couldn't do that. Back in the old days of catalogs, customer engagement was you called the 1-800 customer service number. People don't wait. I tell you right now, if you have a social media channel and you don't respond to people within, it actually keeps getting shorter and shorter, but they say now, I don't even know how short it is now, but it used to be if you can't respond to someone in 12 hours, they thought you were ignoring them. And now it's like a couple hours, they expect a response. And like if you're like on Instagram, they expect you to be on it 24/7 like they are, and they expect you to respond immediately. And you're like, what? But there is ways to do that with digital media. So here, in short, those 5 benefits amount to this. It is a cost-efficient, measurable results with no barriers to entry. So what I want to teach you today is, yes, there's benefits. How do we use them? Now, here's where I get stopped all the time. But wait a minute, Vincent. I want my business to be on TikTok. And I ask the question usually when that happens, why? And after going back and forth, they say, well, because it's trending, it's hot, it's new. And after we go back and forth a little bit, they say, well, here's what happened. I'm like, here, finally the truth's coming out here. And they'll say, we were at the lake. My brother was there and his kids were there, and my niece was showing everybody these TikTok videos, and everybody was laughing and carrying on, and we did some of the TikTok dances, and we did some of the TikTok games, and it was just, it's taking over. And then I saw some ads on there while they were changing. I realized businesses were advertising on there. I gotta be there. And then I said, oh, why? And here's the challenge. Remember I said, I love entrepreneurs, and I 100% believe they're getting left behind on some of this. And I also told you that one of the first things was you still have to have the basics of advertising, the basics of marketing, whether it's digital or traditional. That's where we come into play. Because otherwise, this is the business owners I see every day trying to determine what to do. There's so many different options out there. How do I know which one to pick, Vincent? It's killing me. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to start. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you 5 categories of digital marketing. If you come to all 4, you're going to hear these categories over and over again. If you go and, by the way, if you go and Google 5 categories of digital marketing, you will actually be in the minority of people looking for that. Because TikTok, social media, Instagram, people are now searching on those for their answers. So don't tell me your age, but if you say, well, Google's the way to go, you're in my age. That's all I'm going to say. So these are the 5 categories we're going to use over and over, so you're going to hear me say them over and over again, especially through the series. First one, website funnels. Most of us know what that is. That's marketing your business via a website or a landing page, a funnel or SEO, SEM, pay-per-click. It's all in that category. Now, some people say that's not needed anymore. They're wrong. It is. You just have to use it properly. So website funnels, all you need to know on that. Second one, social media. This is one everybody thinks is the only thing that revolves around digital marketing. Not a true statement, but it is the 800-pound gorilla. Social media. Online platforms that you use. I would write this down behind social media. They were designed to inform, entertain, and engage. Those three words, inform, entertain, and engage. Did I say social media was designed to sell? No. Do people sell on social media? Absolutely. If you're going to sell on social media, your ad or your marketing should probably do one of three things. What should that be? Yes. Yes. If you're yes, see me afterwards. I'll give you a star for that. Please hear me. If you're using social media for advertising your business, make sure you're doing one of those three things. If you're just out there saying, we have this for sale, you're going to be left behind. They're swipe, whichever way they're swiping on that social media, and you're gone. Number 3, email. Now, I got to tell you, email marketing is probably the most overlooked, but still one of the most cost-efficient ways to market digitally, but it is not sexy. It's not what all the kids are talking about. Nobody reads email. It actually is very trackable, and it's very efficient. So you know what email marketing is. I don't have to read that definition. Mobile and app marketing. Now, I categorize this together. By the way, if you Google categories of digital marketing, you'll find somewhere between 5 and 25 categories. I lump them in the 5 because that's a manageable number to put in our head. I'm not going to break it down to 25 and you just be confused by the time you're done. Your finger will be broken from writing. So, mobile app marketing. Now, this is not only referring to your phone. What made this really popular was the geo-targeting technology. That's what makes this possible. You can do certain things. In fact, someone in this room has heard me say this. You can do certain things. If there is a homeowners show in Columbus, Nebraska, I can literally put a fence around that event center, and based on people's phones coming in and out of there, I can find out who they are and target them with my message. That's geo-targeting. That's mobile technology. And most people don't realize you have it turned on. You just don't realize you have it turned on. And it's on. And they use multiple. People get scared about Big Brother. And I got to tell you, don't be scared about Big Brother because they don't know who you are. They just know your persona. And when we get to the second session, we'll talk about personas of customers. That's what they know about you. They don't know who you technically are. And then content native marketing. If you were to Google categories of digital marketing and you saw 5 to 25, you saw whichever list you saw, content marketing will be on there. Because content creation is still one of the biggest struggles for people on any type of platform. And this is technically defined as the creation that blends marketing and educational content designed to engage or educate or retain your audience. Engage, educate, or retain your audience. That's an important phrase there. Engage, educate, or retain your audience. Okay. So we're going to go with 5. We're not going to go with 25. But social media is the 800-pound gorilla. Now, this is 2024 studies. I just want you to look at this. Please don't try to write any of this down. Google it later, look on your social media later and find it. Whatever you do. I Googled it. So this is 2024 stats. You can see here, it's based on active users. So Facebook is the 800-pound gorilla with 3.07 billion users monthly. That's a huge number. It's owned by Meta Platforms. You can see it launched in 2004. Second one is YouTube. Now, I will tell you, amongst marketers, we argue over is YouTube social media or not. I say it is. Some say it isn't. It's my presentation, so YouTube's on there. It's number 2. And that's owned by Alphabet Inc. You might say, well, wait a minute, doesn't Google own them? Well, Alphabet Inc. owns Google. That's the parent company of Google. Just so now you learned something. Write it down. You learned something. WhatsApp. The thing about WhatsApp is very interesting. Here in Columbus, Nebraska, if you want to reach the Hispanic community, all my research shows go on WhatsApp. You are ahead of me on WhatsApp. See? So maybe if I need to hire a specialist on WhatsApp, I can hire you, bring you in as one of in our network. I am not that proficient on it. But I will tell you, it is a meta platform. Now I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Then you see it's Instagram. You see where TikTok is, and it's owned by China. You see where WeChat is, it's owned by China. Why do we not hear about the 1.34 billion users of WeChat? You know, you've heard all about TikTok and how we're going to ban it and all this stuff, but why don't we hear about the WeChat users? Because they're not in the United States. They're not in the United States. But I want you to go past that. You see Telegram's on there. That's the United Arab Emirates. Emirates is how you pronounce that. So that's the Arab nations. And then you'll see LinkedIn. So I got to tell you, LinkedIn is number 8, but it is probably the fastest growing in 2024. It grew tremendously. Now, it's the wild, wild west right now. And what were the 3 things you're supposed to do on social media? Ooh, give you a star after class. Did you guys hear that? Okay. What's happening on LinkedIn right now? People are sell. I'm like, you're going to ruin it. It's not what it's here for. It's got 3 purposes. If you want to sell, do it in one of those 3 manners. Just don't sell. Now, I put red dots by Meta Platform. Why did I do that? I don't own stock in them. It's what? They do. And reality is, you're right. This company actually has a professional site you can go into and you can manage your Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram in one place. And to me, that makes them very scary and very big. So when we talk about in session 3, the top trends, this is going to be one of them. If you're not using Meta, one form of it or another, you should think about it. All right, let's keep going. So here is number 3. Remember I had you write those 5 things down? Here is number 3. The key to success in digital marketing has less to do with which platform you choose and everything to do with your marketing strategy. I just showed you all these platforms, and you're like, how do I know which one to choose? Well, your success doesn't depend on what you choose, it's what your strategy is. And that is huge. I'm going to prove it to you right now. Black shirts, gray shorts. Black shirts, gray shorts. Anybody know what that is? Nope. Well, I'll tell you, I moved into a community when my kids were in middle school, and when we went to the PE class, they said, for PE class, they must wear black shirts and gray shorts. That's the uniform for PE. Now, the school didn't have uniforms, but PE sure did. And the black shirt could not have any logos or anything on it. It had to be a solid black short. And the gray shorts could only have like a brand name on it. And that's what you had to wear for gym. So we were new to the community. We didn't know where to get black shirts and gray shorts. So you know what we did? Oh, that would have been the right thing to do. We actually drove, when we realized school was like a couple days away, drove like 45 minutes to the nearest big town, and we found black shirts and gray shorts. And we bought a couple pair for our kids, because they're probably going to break one or wear through them, and probably don't want them wearing the same stinky one every week after week. So, they got to bring it home with, change it out for them. That's what we did. Now, fast forward, it's November, December time. I'm in the mall in that small town, and I'm walking in the mall, and I see a rack, and guess what's on the rack?
Black shirts and gray shorts.
And guess what the sign says on top? You can imagine, right? PE classes, black shirts, gray shorts. So I'm sitting there and I say to my wife, hey, look at this. I said, this would have been nice to know instead of driving 45 minutes to buy this stuff. So here's where I'm going to put you guys to the test. What tactics could they have used to get my money as opposed to waiting till I ran into it? And digital or traditional, because back then it was not as much digital. My kids are in their 30s now, so it was a little bit more. So what tactics could they have used to let me know that information?
Well, back in the day when my kids were in school, the school told you, you can go to JCPenney, you can go to Walmart, you can go and do your shopping for those items.
They could have given me a sheet that said PE shorts and t-shirts here, and the company that was selling them would have probably gladly printed that sheet for them and designed it for them and paid a graphic artist to make it look great. Could have gave it to me. What else could they have done? What if the school didn't give it to me? What else could the store have done?
They could have put like signs out by the windows to attract people in.
During the season, they could have done that. They could have bought traditional media like newspaper during the season, right before school started.
Programs, ads.
Could have been in the programs. Yep. Could have possibly used some traditional media and reached out to me. Absolutely. They could have bought a list of all the new people who moved to town from the electric company and could have mailed that out to everybody. There's just multiple ways they could have done that. The problem was, to them, it was a given. Everybody's going to come buy it from me. Everybody knows we have it. And I will tell you, I use this example all the time, drives some people crazy. See, Jean's already laughing because she knows. Back in the day, I'm going to go way back in the day. You won't even know what I'm talking about. Bear with me. Back in the day, when you needed shoes repaired, where did you go? No, you went to the shoe cobbler.
I'm here. I'm not from here. We didn't have. There's no place. You couldn't find any place that would repair shoes.
Okay. Say they know. And if you didn't know where the cobbler was, what did you do? You asked your neighbor, and your neighbor said, cobbler's over there on 14th Street. And you just went there. You didn't have to market it. People just went there. But right now, when's the last time you took a pair of shoes to a cobbler? Cowboy boots, maybe, because they're $199 a pop, maybe. But most of the time, you don't take your shoes. You throw them away. You buy new ones. But people still market this way, believing and can't believe that nobody supports them in the community. Well, if that's how you're going to market, you're not going to sell any black shirts and gray shorts either. Here's number 4. I used tactics in that last slide. So you have to understand the difference between your strategy and your tactics. So your marketing strategy is essentially your overall business plan. It's how you're going to reach potential customers and convert them into paying ones. That's the strategy. This is really going to help you be better at marketing when you understand the difference between the two. Okay? So it gives you focus. It says, hey, everything that we do is going to go, this is how we're going to market our business. So I'll give you an example. When my brother and I owned those hair salons, as I mentioned, they were called Mario Salon for Men. Now, Mario was a salon, so it wasn't a barbershop. And so it meant we had things like a massage therapy. We had things like tanning. We had things like all the hair products that women buy for men. We had that. We had straight razor shaves. We had the best haircuts in town. And we also had, manicures and pedicures for men. Do you know manicures and pedicures? Men get those.
I know that.
They do. And it was the time of the metrosexual, and guys were wearing tight suits and had to look 100% like that. So we were in a large city and people loved that. So that gave us focus. In our business, we were focused. And we learned that we didn't have to advertise anything other than haircuts and straight razor shaves. That's all we marketed. And everything else, we've had a different strategy for that. But going outward, our outward marketing was best haircuts. We used to use the slogan, we fix $9.99 haircuts. At the time, we charged $21 and $23, and we ran a campaign. We fixed 9.99 haircuts. Because people would come in and they'd be like, how much are your haircuts? And we'd tell them, they're like, no. And when they left, I would tell people, that's not our client. Don't worry about it. Be polite to them. Let them know where they can go get a $9.99 haircut. Let them know we fix those, but send them that way. Okay? Your strategy is also your roadmap. It tells you what exactly you should be looking to do and how you should be doing it. Your marketing strategy gives you something to measure against and to adjust to. If you get off track, you can say, okay, where's our strategy? Okay, back on this. So at one point, our massage therapist was very upset because we never promoted her. And so we ran ads promoting her. Actually, we had two of them. And we ran ads promoting them. And it was a mistake because nobody came in and bought massage therapy. But when we said, wait a minute, and our marketing strategy, that's our outward messaging. Once they're here, we have different messaging we can reach them with. So let's use a strategy there. And we were able to increase our massage therapy once they were inside. We were able to increase manicures and pedicures by just asking men to try it on us. But we never would go market that. Men, come in and get your manicures and pedicures here. No, we don't talk about that. So it gives you something to measure. This is our plan, and we need to adjust. We've gone off track here. It sets up your business for long-term success if you spend the time working on your strategy. If you don't, remember that lady in the slide, a couple had all that stuff trying to figure out where to go? That's where you'll be. Now, I said the difference is you have to know the difference between marketing strategy and tactics. Now, tactics are the specific actions you take to execute your marketing strategy. It's very specific, it's very short term, and it's action orientated. So this is the stuff you do for the next month. This is the stuff you do for the next quarter. This is your promotions, how you're going to promote XYZ product. It's the how-to of your marketing strategy. And it must align with your strategy. And as we've shown multiple times, there's a variety of marketing channels. You have to think about this and say, okay, I think what he's saying is strategy first. And I am saying strategy has to be first. It will help you implement your tactics. Now, I got to tell you, each tactic you choose will come with an educational process. You will have to learn how to use that tactic. If you say, hey, I want to use TikTok, that's my target market and it's what we're going after, and I say, great, we have to teach you how to use TikTok properly because there are a lot of people doing digital marketing and they're trying to do it the same. Remember I said Meta? You could do Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. And do you know how many people hit the button and just post it on all three? And that's the wrong way to do it. You can do it, doesn't mean you should do it. You have to have a strategy for each one of those three and then use the proper tactics. Okay, if you continue to operate the way I see so many businesses operating now, not you guys, people who didn't come to the seminar, they'll continue to do this and they will do what I call random acts of marketing. You know what that is, right? Yeah, I do this here, or oh, I like this person, she's a good salesperson. I'm going to go ahead and buy that from you, thank you very much. So she does that, and then I'll do this, and I'll do a little bit of this. And oh, one time we really got aggressive. We spent $500 in a month to go after this. What'd you spend next month? Not a dime. Happens all the time. Random acts of marketing. And quite honestly, that's what I'm passionate about stopping. That's got to stop. People got to be some strategy. The other thing is, people will do, we've always done it this way. Or worse yet, don't give up. Don't just throw your hands up and say, I don't know what to do. A lot of people do that and they don't market their business. All right. So, here is the answer to the question. It's not one of the 5 I said we were going to cover, but it's the answer to how do you win with digital marketing. Here's the cheat sheet right here. Number 1, carve out the time. Nobody likes to do it, but you have to do it. When I work with business owners and we go through this process, It takes 10 to 12 hours of the business owner's time over 6 weeks to carve out the time to work with me to develop the strategic marketing plan. Now, I will tell you, I then spend 20 to 25 hours on the backside that they never see doing research on what they tell me. Okay? So I've done this with businesses that make less than $100,000 a year, and I'm doing it with a business right now who they're in 1.2 million and they want to get back up to the 2 million. 1.2, they want to be $2 million. The same strategy I'm telling you is what I'm working with that person right now. And we're getting to the end of it when I'm getting ready to bring them their strategic marketing plan. And I reminded her of the invoice and the total, and she said, that can't be the price. You spent more time educating me than what you're charging me. And I said, this is what we do. We want you to understand. And then when you see the plan, you might hire us for this, and you might do this yourself in-house. Doesn't bother us. But you will have a plan that you can use. This is the answer. Carve out the time, get it done, write it down. Oh my gosh, how many great ideas never get written down? Look, you already start shaking your head before I got that out of my mouth. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? People don't write it down. You need to write it down. It becomes the foundation to your marketing. It makes your life easy when you have this foundation. If you get this wrong, nothing else really matters because it's not going to work. You've got to get this right. And you guys have the advantage of the few people who didn't show up or were scheduled to show up and the people who didn't sign up. You now have an advantage over them. Because unfortunately, this is when we get called in. We get called in when people are struggling. That's the answer right there. That's your answer key to what we're here about today. But here is who you guys are, and you're ready to get started. You're ready to say, okay, let me change my business. Let me figure out how to get this done, Vincent. Well, we don't have time to go through all of it, but I can show you what the format looks like so you know what we're talking about. And then you can decide if you can do this on your own. We do a 4-step strategic marketing plan. I call it MMCM. MMCM. It's easy for me to remember. I like the alliteration. It works for me great. It is your business model. We talk about their target market. And we talk about their content options. That's the C. And then lastly, we talk about their media choices. But what did I tell you? People stop me. They want to be on TikTok. They want to talk about their media choices first thing before they do any of those other ones. Now, today, we can only have time for business model. And we only have time to brush on it briefly, but I want you to understand how we talk about this business model. And when you go back and think about your business model, what business are you really in? Are you true classic teas or are you true classics? You have to figure that out first thing. And quite honestly, when I sit with a business, we probably spend 60% of our time on this one topic. That's why the next series we're going to talk about target market, content options, and media choices. But business owners, we only have time to do that. So when we talk about the business model, these are the 4 things we look at right here. When we sit down and talk with them, we talk to them about their history. We talk to them about their vision and mission statement. We do some analysis on their business. And then we talk about their brand reputation. That's all we talk about in the M, the first M, which is business model. What business are you truly in? All right, sounds like a lot. Let's look at True Classic Teas. I want to show you their history. This is why I use them as an example all the time. So phase 1, you can see that Ryan had a big idea. And the problem that he wanted to solve was not all t-shirts fit everybody. Don't write any of this down. Just hear, feel the vibe, what happens with this company. Okay? They come up with a widget that you put in your height, you put in your weight, you put in some measurements, and then they can buy. What they actually do is then they have shirts that fit different body types, and they get the right shirt for you. Okay? Then phase 2 happened. So then in 2019, that's what these dates are up here, 2019, you can see that Nick and Matt join as partners. So there's a guy who has an idea. In 2018, 2019, he brings on 2 partners, and they launched their company with 6 colors of t-shirts. And it was always called, in their marketing, it was called the 6-pack. Every guy wants to have a 6-pack. And that's what they had, 6 colors, playing on their humor. 20 to 21, and what is that, 3 years later, roughly 2 years later? Depends on when you count the 18, 19. He hit the $100 million mark. And I'm telling you right now, there's business owners right here that can come up with an idea just like this. Just like this. 100 million mark. They were profitable and they were bootstrapped. What do I mean by bootstrap? It's an old term, old school term. They did it themselves. They had no angel investors. This is those 3 guys putting their money in, reinvesting, and then hit the 100 million mark. Now, phase 4 in 2022, they expanded. I was going to show you a video, but we're running out of time. And you kind of saw it in the second video. They expanded. They went to activewear. They went to men's underwear. They went to men's pants. But they go crazy. They expand their product line. And then this says they opened 5 retail stores and counting. I'm sorry that my slide's covered up there, but they opened 5 retail stores and counting. I can tell you right now, they have 11. And that may be part of the model, may not. I think they're testing it right now. Because what do they sell? What do they sell? No? What are they selling? Men's activewear? T-shirts? Ooh, someone's catching on to where I'm going. They have this custom fit widget for pants, for underwear, for socks. What are they selling? Custom fit, customization for men. Now, I want you to look at phase 5 in 2023. They started a give back initiative. Good for them. I think when you make $100 million, you should probably come up with some kind of initiative to give back. In their case, it's to veterans, so obviously it attracts my mind. And they started a whole new wave of people. We're looking at you women. So if you're a women's store in Columbus, Nebraska, you got some new competition coming. But the whole thing they're selling is that fit. They're really selling fit. So, as I said, this is their history. They're doing well. And it leads right into what we talk about next is their vision and mission statement. I told you that was kind of the steps we go through. We're not going to go through all these. But remember just that the vision statement describes your ultimate goal of your organization. What is your long-term goal? Not what you sell, how you sell it. What do you want to accomplish? So like 402 content marketing, we say we better the community and build connections by sharing positive stories within our community. That's our vision. It's not what we do. When you get to your mission statement, you get to the vision statement, that's where you talk about how you do it. Okay? So that's the stuff. Between the history and the mission statement, that's where we really find out what they sell. What are you truly selling? All right? We do a couple analysis here. Those are just the 2 that we like to use. And then we talk about their branding, reputation. Not their products, not their tactics, not their social media, just what their branding is and what people say about them in the community. Now, we started today. I said I would go quick. I said I crammed a lot at you. Here are the 5 things that we covered. If you wrote them all down, I got them. All right? Now, the next session, as I said, we will cover those 3. And I already told you, the first one takes a long one. That's what takes a lot of time with these, with our clients. 2, 3, and 4, the MCM, can be done in the shorter time frame. I thank you for your attention. There's my contact information. I do appreciate your time, and I'll be here for a little bit. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.